Welcome to Tuesday Update. Today is July 14th. We had another great weekend this past Saturday and Sunday. We had 360 people come to our two masses. That's about 20 to 25% of what it would have been a year ago. So, and we had people, both masses in the parish center, a little bit of an overflow, only 10 or 20 people in the parish center. The parish center is set up, it's socially distanced, there's 100 seats in there, so we still have plenty of room for any overflow. And then, of course, we bring communion down there. But it was a good weekend. And again, for those of you who are vulnerable, please continue to stay home, okay, for your own health. And everyone else, you'll make your decision. When you feel safe, you come out, okay? And there's no guilt trips. You come when you feel safe. And certainly if you're not feeling well, if you're ill, you got those flu-like symptoms, please don't come. Don't come. Last weekend we did our contact tracing. That went very well too. Thanks for your cooperation on that. Remember, that's the whole idea. The diocese is asking us to do that. If someone here was to contract COVID, then the state, the health department, they want to know, hey, who was there? And now we can give them information to be able to contact us to help keep us safe. We don't share that information with anybody else, only if the health department was to contact us. But thanks for coming and bringing your sheets. Remember, every time we gather here, we're going to have to do the contact tracing. And if you go to the website, right on the front page, you can click. There's a form. Print yourself out 20 or 30 of them. Maybe even give those to some people who don't have a printer or a computer. And it's just a very simple fill-in. You bring those to church with you. We are outside for people who forget those forms, but it moves a lot more efficiently if you have those forms filled out and just drop them right in a basket. We just had a funeral here this morning, and we did the contact tracing for the funeral. So anytime we gather here in the church or eventually in the chapel, we're going to have contact tracing forms to identify who was there. It's all for our safety, and it's a good idea. Remember, the form is not a registration for Mass. Still got to get here early if you want to get a seat here in the church. We open up those doors about 25 of. Our ambassador teams, they're doing an outstanding job. They are the ones who are helping to keep us safe. Without our ambassador teams here for our various liturgies, we couldn't do anything. We couldn't have anything here in our church. So they're doing an outstanding job. I'm grateful to them. We're still looking to build new teams of ambassadors because I don't want to wear out the ones we've got. So if you'd be willing to help us become a member of a team, it's usually 8 to 10 people on a team. We'll train you up. And then we spread it out so that no team gets overworked. But if you might be willing to help us with that, would you please let us know, because I'd be very grateful. You'll notice some green fabric. It's here on the pulpit. It's back here on the tabernacle. And remember, that's the color of ordinary time. And ordinary time runs from the end of Easter all the way to the beginning of Advent in November. So there's a long stretch of time that we call ordinary time. That's why I wear the green vestments and we have the green around. The only time we don't do the green is sometimes, we have a Feast of Mary coming up in August. We'll wear white. For the funeral this morning, we wear white. But green is the standard color we're going to be using on weekends. And here, in North America, the green also works for the color of our plants and our trees. And it's God's creation. It's beautiful. I'm hoping you're getting outside, or even just for a ride, to be able to see some of God's creation and to be able to pray a little bit and experience God in the beautiful creation and the beauty that we have here in the Northeast. This past Sunday, we had one of 3 First Communions. So remember, typically our kids would get First Communion the first weekend in May, the first Saturday in May. Of course, we couldn't do it with COVID. And of course, the kids are very anxious to get their First Communion. And so we've got a class, I think there's maybe 91, 92 kids. And we decided we're going to break it up into 3 celebrations so we can keep the numbers down. And we had our first one this past weekend. It wasn't during one of our normal weekend masses, it was a separate mass. And we'll have 2 more coming up here before the end of the summer for the kids who didn't receive First Communion so far. But I got a kick out of the kids, of course. They're sitting in the pews, they got their mask on. And I remember saying to them, I said, someday, when you are moms and dads and your grandmas and grandpas, your kids and grandkids are going to look at your First Communion picture and they're going to say, what are you wearing that mask for? And you're going to be able to tell them about COVID. And so they got a big kick out of that, but what an unusual time. And they will always remember when their First Communion was. It was during COVID-19. Please call the office if you have a baptism. If you need anybody in your family, you need to be baptized, or anybody in your family needs to be baptized. Kirsten has the dates that we're doing those baptisms, and she'll fill you in on that. Please let us know if you have any needs, including shopping. We're always happy to try and help you out if we can. We got a lot of people who would reach out and help you. We are, for the protection of our office, for the protection of our staff, we're keeping our offices closed, okay? But we're just a telephone call or an email away, so don't hesitate to reach out to us. Today is the feast of Keterit Tekawitha, one of my favorite saints. You'll recall in the gathering area, we have a statue of Keterit Tekawitha. She is the first Native American saint. And I think part of the reason she's special to me is, she was born 40 miles from here in Fonda, New York. Tremendous story. She was a convert. She didn't convert to Catholicism until she was 19 years old. But she really carried the cross of suffering in her life. When she was young, she got smallpox and she had the scarring all over her face and she was ridiculed by friends. And then, of course, when she made her conversion, she was pretty much ostracized, pushed right out of her family, but didn't buckle. And she ended up having been pushed out of her family here at Orisville and Fonda, went to Canada. And she died only at the age of 24 in Canada. But she is a great example of somebody who suffered and didn't hold God hostage as a result of that, and had great courage with her faith, even though everybody thought she was crazy to do it. So her statue's out there. Today's her feast day. And we asked some of our staff, tell us, who's your favorite saint? And so Linda Green, she's our pastoral care associate. Many of you know her. She talks about St. Jude as her favorite saint. She says her devotion to St. Jude came from her mother, who has always held a special place in her heart for St. Jude. He's a symbol of choosing faith when all seems lost. He's a testament to standing firm in religious truth in the face of an even uncertain and challenging world. We can find comfort from him, especially now in the pandemic. And many of you have seen the statue we have of St. Jude in the chapel. Liz Gelstrom, she's our service coordinator. She says her favorite saint is Elizabeth of Hungary, who her parents named her for. Elizabeth is perhaps best known for her miracle of the roses, which says that while she was taking bread to the poor in secret, she met her husband on a hunting party, who, in order to quell suspicions that she was stealing treasure from the castle, asked her to reveal what was hidden under her cloak. She opened her cloak, and red and white roses fell out. Our Lord was protecting her. Who is your favorite saint? Maybe think about that. We'd like to invite you to send in to us who your favorite saint is, and maybe a 1 to 3 sentence description. Why is that your favorite saint? And we'll do something with that. That'll be nice. So maybe we'll take 8-9 days. We'll leave maybe a week from Monday. In that time period, send us the saint that's your favorite, maybe your name, and 1 to 3 sentences. Why is it your favorite saint? It's one of those things, during this COVID time when we got a little bit more time, reading about the saints is very, very inspiring. It is to me, and I'm sure it is to you as well. They are great examples role models for us in living this faith. They did not have it easy. They had a lot of challenges, but they were sinners, just like us, but they became saints, and they're super role models for us. So if you ever get a chance here during this COVID period, take a look at, read maybe about a saint that you don't know anything about. But we'd love to know what your favorite saint is. So this coming weekend, 2 masses, 5 o'clock and 10 a.m. Please bring your little sheet with you. Again, if you have to print it out on the printer, just make a bunch of them because you're going to need them. Okay, and get them. Let's get those sheets to people who don't have the printer to be able to do that. But bring those. If you forget them, we'll be outside to help out with that contact tracing. But the simplest way is the sheet. So please bring that, and stay safe. God bless.